Alrighty, folks. Welcome to what I ate from day 4 to day 7 pantry challenge. So the day 4 was my last day of winter break. So I finished off one of those chocolate pumpkin muffins, had a cup of tea. I had the last bits of chips and chips. I still have some salsa left. And I had an afternoon snack of a German cookie that I'd ordered over Christmas from a local bakery here. They're just super nice. The next picture shows, this sort of like gingerbready with candied fruits and things like that. Delicious. So it was kind of a day of hodgepodge snacking and throughout the day rather than proper breakfast and lunch. But then for dinner, we had salmon and broccoli. And when I make salmon, I bake it completely plain, nothing on it, because I have 3 cats. And when we eat salmon as a family. So I usually then make some kind of a sauce or, I don't know, call it marinade or whatever to put over top. This time I used chili garlic mayo, a bit of mustard. This is my absolute favorite, one of my favorite mustards, and a little bit of lemon juice. And I just squished that together and brushed it over the top so that then the salmon had the flavor of the sauce. In this picture, you'll notice I've got a pile of vitamins there too. I'm trying, as part of my pantry challenge, to remember to take my vitamins daily, both because COVID's blowing through here and it's normal cold and flu season, and we're going hopefully back to school in person really soon. So I want to make sure I'm just kind of keeping an eye on health and consuming and using the vitamins that I've spent a lot of money on rather than forgetting to take them. So just a little incorporation into the pantry challenge. And then here's our youngest cat, Charlotte, enjoying a little bit of that salmon. And our big girl, our eldest, Indonesian jungle kitty, Mars. I was meant to have a piece of bread, the sourdough rye with butter, alongside my salmon and broccoli, but I'd forgotten, so I just ate it while I was doing dishes. And then I had a snack of some licorice bits from the candy bin pantry part, some of those cherries, a cheese string, and then those lovely Marks and Spencer yogurt and freeze-dried strawberry dipped rice cakes. I have a couple of those left, and I'm sort of going to try and like space them out through the rest of the pantry challenge, because I won't have access to the Marks and Spencer in Macau for a while. So I'm just kind of making those last few ones last because they're so yums. Next day, I finished off what I had taken out of the freezer applesauce, and this time I warmed it up with a little bit of cinnamon, and it was really yummy. I think I have a lot of applesauce from my fall apple order, so I think I will be eating applesauce that way more often. And then the sourdough rye was on its last legs. I had just a few pieces left. So I toasted it up with a little bit of butter just to take the edge off of the oldness of the bread. And then again, I added a scoop of cottage cheese to my eggs because why not? And I did fry them up in bacon grease, the Christmas bacon grease from the fridge. For an afternoon snack, I had a grapefruit, an orange, one of those chocolate pumpkin muffins, and then another thing I think I mentioned in the last video, I have a big bin of beverages of like coffees and teas and things that I've gotten as gifts or purchased. I like to drink herbal tea quite a bit. The Rooibos and cinnamon tea was from my advent calendar. The Marks and Spencer tea was from our last trip to Macau. And then the Starbucks coffee was from a Christmas gift that I received. So what I'm doing is trying, like when I pull out that Tupperware bin that is full of all of those teas and coffees, is taking a few things out and having them out on the counter so that I remember to use them and have them. for dinner, I have a supply of pizza making supplies in the freezer. Pizza is expensive here, and I think it's expensive everywhere, and it's not super delicious. I love just kind of a plain cheese pizza. I grew up eating Little Caesars and Jets and Domino's and things like that. And here, like, you have to be careful because a lot of times when it looks like cheese pizza, it actually has durian on it, which is, I don't dislike durian, but I don't want it on my pizza. So what I do is I buy cheese, and then I buy like a jar of pizza or marinara sauce, like veggie marinara, and I freeze it in one pizza portions because my husband does not eat pizza or tomato products like that. And then the crust is from a local bakery supplier, an Australian bakery that we have kind of a deal with where if enough teachers from school make an order, they'll deliver it to campus for us on a Wednesday or a Friday. So it's a really nice access to like some good baked products. And this is like a par baked pizza crust. It's 12 RMB, 12 kwai, so that's pretty cheap for compared to what it would be to order a pizza. So I just put it together, simple, put a little garlic salt on there, put some seasonings from the pantry usually, and then, ta-da, in 8 to 12 minutes, I have a lovely cheese pizza. So I think in the freezer when I was kind of reorganizing, I have 3 pizza crusts left. So I'll just space it out so that I have pizza like every 10 to 14 days throughout my, what will hopefully be 50-day pantry challenge. I also that night, as I was doing the pizza, prepped my lunch and snacks and breakfast for the next day because Wednesday was my first day. Thursday was my first day back to campus from the holidays. So I have the bean spread that I made the week before, that butternut squash half, those leeks that I'd prepped, and then I pulled out a veggie broth from the freezer. And I just in the bean spread is cannellini beans, a little bit of hummus, capers, and green onion and red onion. So I just put that all in, sauteed the leeks first, added the beans, added the butternut squash and the broth, and turned it into a soup for my lunch. And I was really happy with that. That was an excellent way to use the bean spread because I didn't feel like having a cold meal. I wanted a warm meal. So now that I know that bean spread can kind of be upcycled or used both ways, I'm going to do that more often. I also prepped, I really like to eat freeze-dried fruit and veg, like the crispiness of it. It's fun. It kind of scratches that potato chip itch. And oftentimes when I get a mix like this, there's the powder and broken bits at the bottom. And what I do is I make like fruit on the bottom yogurt with it, with just plain yogurt. So that instead of those kind of dusty bits going to waste, it just flavors my yogurt. And then for snack that night, I had some cherries, a cheese string, one of the fruit roll-ups that I got in my order that I ordered from Australia before Christmas, that Cadbury chocolate order. And then the Hubs had received some of the Hokkaido white chocolate biscuits as a gift for Christmas, and I really love them. It makes me nostalgic for the trip that we took to Hokkaido. Basically, it's a square of really nice white chocolate with really crispy cookie biscuit on the outside of it, like a sandwich. Next time I have them, I'll try to remember to take a picture of them open. But that was kind of a nice, like, last night before going back full-time to campus treat. And then this is my desk at work. And as you can see, I have reusable containers. I like lunch boxes, so you'll see now that I'm back to work after Christmas holiday, a selection of all of my cutlery and containers. So this is what it looks like closed. And then I've got some of unsalted mixed nuts, a couple of prunes, and a muffin. This is sort of my breakfast and snacks for the day. And then my fruit on the bottom, yogurt. You can see that freeze-dried fruit, because I made it the night before, has absorbed some of the moisture from the yogurt. So it becomes like a really nice and creamy, even creamier than it's already Greek-style yogurt. So anyway, that's me just chilling at my desk with my snacks and my breakfast. For lunch, this is the faculty room that I'm having my soup in. And then I had some biscuits that I made with Crisco, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 weeks ago, well before the Pantry Challenge. But, you know, making a single recipe of biscuits for 2 people, they don't get consumed necessarily fresh. So I often will make biscuits, we'll eat a couple of them, and I'll freeze the rest. So this is a biscuit that I just split open and pulled out of the freezer and had it with my soup. And then the red beverage is Crystal Light Fruit Punch. This is one of my guilty pleasures. I really like to drink juice and soda and beverages, and I'm very aware of like the health and caloric implications of beverage calories. So, and I'm also in a phase in my life where I really need to hydrate. I am good at drinking water, but I need to hydrate beyond my norm because of some health issues that I had in the fall. So every once in a while, probably 2 or 3 times a week at school when I'm having lunch, I'll make a big 1 liter container of Crystal Light Fruit Punch or iced tea and make sure that I drink that down like within the midday hour so that I have that like liter of liquid that's gone in, and it kind of feels like a cheating treat of drinking juice even though it's low calorie and fake sugar, which is not ideal. I say guilty pleasure because it's this like, I'm doing it for health benefits, but I know it has negative health implications, and it just is what it is because I like fruit punch. So there we go. For dinner, you might be thinking, wait a second, fresh cucumbers and lettuce? My hubs worked from home that day on Thursday, and he did a grocery order for something that he wanted for himself, and he threw fresh veggies on there for salad because I had told him I was going to make Beyond Burgers with burgers and buns from the freezer. So he had took it upon himself to say he wanted a side salad with that. So the side salad is a purchase thing, but I made the dressing from scratch as I always do with pantry items. It's a lemon sumac dressing that's kind of a play on a Lebanese fattoush salad dressing. And then Beyond Burger, I added cheese to mine and pickles. Pickles is something that I'm not worried about getting through in the Pantry Challenge because we eat a lot of pickles. Pickles is something we have multiple kinds of pickles in the fridge at all times, and we eat them regularly with many meals. So it is a pantry staple for us, but it's not something that we're like having an excess of. So anyway, that was dinner. And then that night, I wanted to bake something because I was finished with the chocolate pumpkin muffins. I didn't have any left, so I wanted to bake another something. So I kind of pulled out bits and pieces. So a few odds and ends of all-purpose flour and whole wheat flour, a bag of frozen, peeled, chunked apples, and a bag of the ever-present pumpkin puree. Monk fruit, sugar, and the no egg replacer, plus some seasonings and powders. I was going to just make this as a regular recipe with butter and eggs, and then I was like, no, you know what? I'm going to use the egg replacer because we have a lot of it. It's something that I bought just in case we went into lockdown and needed an egg replacer for baking and things like that, and we're not able to access eggs. So I saved our fresh eggs, used the egg replacer and accidentally made a vegan muffin dish. I last minute remembered to add a couple tablespoons of that spirulina pea protein psyllium husk powder. And the combination of the spirulina and the pumpkin made them look a little bit Shrekish. There's a bit of a green tinge to them. And the recipe obviously made enough batter for like they're kind of overly large. I think probably if I made them again, I would only use half a bag of apples because they're very juicy and they didn't need that much apple, but they came out super yummy the way they were. So this will be breakfast and snacks for the next couple of days. And then at the end of the day, I had a cozy hot cocoa, some more water, some cherries, and 2 IKEA cookies. They're the raspberry cream cookies. And my favorite commercial cookie of all time is the Canadian President's Choice lemon cream cookies that look similar to this. I think it's a circle instead of a heart. I love those lemon cream cookies. So this is sort of a reminiscence of that. And then onwards and upwards. The next day, one of those muffins, some pretzels from my giant Costco-sized pretzel container, and in the little container is some mustard to dip my pretzels, and then cottage cheese and freeze-dried mushrooms. I didn't actually end up eating the freeze-dried mushrooms because my day got really crazy at work. Sometimes that happens where I pack my breakfast, snack, and lunch because I'm typically in my office from 6 a.m. or 6:30 until anywhere from 4 to 5. I try not to stay later than 5 unless it's volleyball season. But some days get crazy and I don't actually eat everything I bring. So I didn't eat the mushrooms, but I've got them there for a snack for next week. And then Friday night, it was a really rough day. And I came home and I was so tempted to just order an easy dinner, carry out. And I really had to sort of refocus myself. And I made a steamed carrots, sauteed leeks, and I have several bags in my pantry of this veggie rice-based pasta that I got from a local organic farm. They do small batch DIY dried pasta. And then I mixed a scoop of my homemade hummus that we have in the fridge at all times into it as, I'm going to misquote the name, but Madeline is a vegan influencer, and she does a hummus pasta, and this is sort of inspired by that. And it was so warm and comforting, and it really just made me happy. It was the right choice. I ended up eating it on the couch out of my bowl with my middle kitty, Lily. That's Lily Mao judging me why I didn't make fishes for dinner. But vegan dinner and vegan muffins is just how it kind of turned out for that day. And then to wrap up the week and the night, I had a cider and popcorn. We don't drink too much alcohol at home, really. We don't drink too much alcohol in general, but we do often have a couple of beers or ciders in the fridge, either for cooking or for drinking. And I'd stocked up, I think we had 8 beers and ciders for over the holidays, and then we both were pretty horribly sick with COVID. So we didn't end up consuming any of them. So I thought Friday night, I'm going to have a crisp apple cider and some popcorn. And that wraps up day 7 of the Pantry Challenge. So I hope this has just been fun and interesting to see, what can be done with pantry staples and items. And I'll see you guys in another couple of days for the next round.